Hello, happy Friday, everybody. How's everybody doing? I just got off work. Right on. And I'm back home. If any of you guys knew, I've been evacuated the last week due to fires since last Wednesday night. We had some really huge fires here in Silverado where I live, and we all got kicked out of our house, so we were really worried. It was super close. So I'm super happy. I still have my house. I still have my studio. Can you get that much motion from a Mattel figure? Absolutely you can. I did it. Check it out. If you want to see how I did it too, you can watch on my YouTube channel, Justin Rasch Animation. I did a whole episode on how I made it. Absolutely you can. It's not easy, but you can. To be in your life here. Hey, what's up, Kung Fu Dork? I like your new mouth set. I can't wait to check out the head you made. This is so interesting. When people ask to be in my live video, I don't know what that means. I've said yes before, but I don't know what it means, and nothing ever happens. Someone could explain that to me. Hey, Pat Rom. Yeah, if you guys don't know, go check out Kung Fu Dork. He does some really awesome stop motion stuff. He's a CG guy too. He just made a new kit for starting stop motion people who want to start playing with facial animation. And he's offering it for a really low price. I wish I had it when I first started. Go check it out. Hey, Donnie Flip, what's up? From Kyrgyzstan. Hey, what's up? Awesome. All over the world. Animation's all over. It's exciting you're here. Yes, I'm home, Donnie Flip. I made it. Our home is safe. It looks like kind of a war zone all in the mountains around us. It's all burnt down, but our home is safe. We're really, really grateful. Really, really grateful to be home. And I can't wait to get in the garage tonight. It's the weekend. I'm going to be animating. I'm excited. All right. Pat Rom. All right, all kinds of folks. Brazil. Well, got a question here. Thoughts on Travis Knight? You know, hey, everybody. Travis is one of the most talented animators on the planet. He's incredible. In CG, stop motion, everything. He is one of the most talented people on the planet. He's not just a guy who lucked into his position. He has incredible skills as a performer, as a director, animator, everything. And he works his ass off. He was definitely a gift from the gods for stop motion. The fact that someone in his financial place fell in love with stop motion and made it a point to create stop motion feature films at a high level is insane. It's so unheard of. And he's the Walt Disney of stop motion to me. He is creating his life. The last day I worked on Kubo, I told him, thank you. I'm so grateful for working here. And I feel like this is film 4. It was film 4 at the time. I'm like, I feel like I'm on like Dumbo. The first Disney collection, right? You have Bambi, you have Pinocchio, you have Snow White, Sleeping Beauty. This library, which became enormous amounts of classic animated films. And I felt like I was on number 4 of his Walt Disney films for stop motion and making it mainstream and putting it on the big screen. Really incredible. So I'm going to be grateful for Travis forever. And he's super talented guy. Do I prefer toys, action figures, or full puppets? Always full puppets. Always full puppets because I can animate everything. Toys are way too limited. for my taste. Full puppets, I can act, I can do facial, I can do action, I can do everything. And, if it's my puppet, I'm even happier because then I designed it, you know what I mean? And then it's even more magical. But definitely puppets any day of the week over toys. Any plans to make more Origins stop motion? Yes, there is plans. Nothing official yet because I'm doing, I'm working right now trying to pay some bills. But next year, I'm definitely hoping to do some stuff. There's a lot of Wave 2 characters that I want to do. I have some huge visions for Eternia, and some stuff that I imagined as a kid that I want to show in animation. So yes, more will come. It'll be a little bit because I have a lot of other things happening, but it's definitely going to come. Personal stuff. For me, yeah. Hey, Kung Fu Dork. I'm doing my Viking film right now. Yeah, I'm sculpting it like over the break, actually over Christmas break. We're gonna be molding the Viking and the wolf character from that film. So I'm really excited to get some major miles on that over the break. Will I be going live? Yeah, I think I'm live right now, aren't I? Pretty sure, Donnie. I love your work. Thank you. Kill Nest from Motu fan. Awesome. Got Beastman. Okay, we got some questions here. Do you plan on making... Yep, I do. Do you know what the next Leica movie is? Yes, I do. It's awesome. It's really awesome, and I can't tell you anything about it, but it's really awesome. I'm so happy about it that I'm actually getting a little bit tempted. Like... That's how cool I think it's going to be. I think it's going to fit Leica's library perfectly, yet be something totally new. It's really cool. But it's a ways out. Right now, I think they're doing puppets and design and storyboards and animatics, all that kind of stuff. But I know about it, and it looks cool. It looks really cool. Does Leica use tie-downs with their puppets or only rigs? Always tie-downs. Any professional stop motion uses tie-downs. We want our feet and hands to stay exactly where we press them and put them. Because at 24 frames per second, if it's wiggling around, it looks really bad. It looks unprofessional. So absolutely, we use tie-downs everywhere, any place that's professional. Thank you, artists. Great animator and stuntman too, Pat Rom. Yeah, thank you. I'm getting older. It's not as easy for me to do stunts anymore, but I definitely can still bounce around a little bit, and I love it. Oh, tomorrow when you mean tonight? I think I'm going to be animating tonight. Going live tonight? Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just am always afraid like that. Who would want to watch that? But you have requested that before. Maybe I can set up my phone while I'm in the garage. And tonight, it'll be late, but I can put a camera up. And if not, then tomorrow I'll try to put one up. Maybe that'll be on TikTok. I've never done it here, but I guess I could do it here too. That way it's recorded. You should make a puppet in the celebrity deathmatch style. Yeah, I used to watch that back in the 80s when it was on TV, and I loved it. I wouldn't be opposed to doing something like that. I think there's definitely a market for some fun content online. Congratulations on your 2-minute Motu film. Too much creative. Oh, thank you. It was super fun to make that short. Super fun. And we did it really fast. It took 8 weeks start to finish to make that film. But really, really fun. And my first Toymation, so it was a great experience too. Abdel Rahman, that's very kind. I'm definitely not the best animator in the world, but I'm trying my best to be as good as I can and grow as often as I can. Any tips for getting a good walk cycle? Walks are the hardest part of animation. They just are. I don't really have tips, but Animator Survival Kit. It's a book. If you get that and start there, you can learn the basic poses that you need for a good walk. And then after that, it's Studying how people move, how physics work, and then a lot of practice. Those are the tips for walking right now. I do teach more specifics about walks, but that's what I do privately and stuff like that. But if you look at my Skeletor short that I did, a little test I put on YouTube, you can see some of the poses there that I use while I'm animating. That might help you out with the toy too. Okay, oops. Let's see here. All right. Question. I'm playing the new Shadowlands extension and would like to know if you worked on this expansion. Yeah, I did cinematics for it. I'm so happy to hear how much people are liking it. Yeah, if you know the cartoons that play while you're playing the game, I animated a bunch of those. So on a bunch of those, that was what I did for Shadowlands, and it was really really fun. It's so cool. That's one of the best parts of the job of working at Blizzard is after we release and the people play through the games and they put up their reactions and you see their emotional responses to the animations you made. It's super rewarding. It really makes all the stuff we do through the year feel really really good. Your favorite show is Robot Chicken? That's awesome. It's been on a long time. I love it too. It's fantastic. Okay, you're afraid you won't be alive for today's live as it's almost 3 a.m. Right. Okay. We'll check it around tomorrow. Maybe I'll be animating during the day and then you can see me animating a dinosaur. And if I do it here, I guess it'll record. You can check it out later too. Fabio, hey from Brazil. Pat Rom, go live with. Oh, okay, I'll try it. From Pat Rom to go live with. I don't know. Does it do like a split screen or something? Um, why there's no company doing puppets the way you used on Overwatch animation? I think there's some. Like, are you talking about like silicone, the way they looked on my Overwatch? That was like Leica does puppets like that, and really quality, high level. Maybe the design is a little more realistic. And I guess that's just the companies that are doing it haven't had uh, maybe they weren't thinking that that would be as successful as a more cartoony design. I don't know. What are my favorite celebrity deathmatch fights? Oh my gosh, I don't remember. It's been so long. I remember Michael Jackson versus Prince and oh gosh, it's been 30 some years since I've seen him. I'm not sure if I remember Mr. T versus somebody. Oh, Rocky Balboa versus I don't remember. Was it Arnold? There were some fun ones. Um, but either way, Abdel Rahman, the thing about those character designs for the Overwatch is they're a lot more like comic book style, right? Like more sleek and cool, push designed characters. I would love to see some stop motion with stuff that's a little bit more realistic like that. Even though I mean it's obviously stylized, but a little bit more less cartoony. Maybe that's the word. A little bit more like a comic book or some like more anime like realistic anime type of portions or something like that. I don't know. I think it'd be really cool. I hope to do more. I'm definitely trying always to do more with the Overwatch characters. I have so many side projects that I'm working on all the time while trying to do my regular job. So I have some puppets that I'm trying to build from Overwatch at the same time. What is your favorite stop motion character? Really hard. Really hard. Probably all time has to be. Uh, it's probably Jack Skellington. Um, Yeah, I think it's probably Jack Skellington. I love Oogie Boogie too, and I love Coraline a lot. But it's probably Jack Skellington. He was so special and so striking and unique when it came out. I was really, really blown away by it. Yeah. Is Leica working? Yeah. Making another movie? Yeah, they sure are. They're making movies forever. They're doing it. There's a bunch of people. Donnie Flip, all right, I'll see you later, man. Thank you for the well wishes about the house. My favorite one is when Jamie Foxx's head got smashed 8 times by Ray Charles. That must be the newer ones, the newest generation. I haven't seen all the new ones. I caught a few of them, but I don't have regular television, so I haven't seen them. But I'll have to go check those out. Um, one of the whoa, what is that? What's your favorite Harryhausen creature? Ooh, that's more specific. Okay. Harryhausen. Medusa's really high. Medusa is really, really high on my list. Um, I love the Hydra. I love the design of the Hydra and Jason and the Argonauts. The faces I thought looked so cool on those things. I wanted it to do more, but I really love that design. Um, let's see, skeletons, Titans. I think that's probably it. Medusa's probably it because she moved more than the Hydra did too. So I'll go with the Medusa. Medusa was pretty amazing. The skeletons, as simple as they were too, just looked awesome. Uh, Whoops. Let's see here. I keep messing up. I touch this. Your stuff is amazing. Shout out to you. Aw, thanks, Daring. I was going to take you guys downstairs today and show you some rigs because people are asking me a lot about rigging and how do I rig my puppets. So I figured I'd just show you. I got a lot of options on how I support my characters when I'm animating. So we'll go into the gym. I mean, not the gym, the studio. You can see over there, that's a dinosaur. That's a T-Rex. All right, I'm going to pull out a bunch of rigs and show you guys what kind of stuff I use. Let's see, where should I start? Okay, well, here's a simple one. All right away, you can see here, this is a winder. It goes left and right, up and down, vertical. And then it has basically a ball and socket arm that comes off and will go into the side of the puppet there. And that basically allows me to support this giant dinosaur that's too heavy to stand upon his own. That's one version. This one here is more often a regular use of mine, which is just a normal heavy foot with an arm. And this will go right into the side of the puppet or any puppet, my He-Man character, whoever it is, to support at another level, right? So this one's a lot simpler. It just kind of slides around and plugs into your character. Let's see here. I got all of my rigs misplaced right now because we had a bunch of get out of the house quick activities when the fire came. So all of my rigs are slightly misplaced right now. But I can, here's one I can show you. This is how I did many, many years of my rigging, which is super simple. And it's just a 10-pound plate with a bunch of wire. And just like all these other ones, the wire just goes right into the side of the puppet or around the puppet, however it is, but it basically will support the character, and then I just paint it out. And that's a 10-pound weight, but I've used 5-pound weights for probably the majority of my rigging needs. And let's see here. Might have to ask Shelly where the rest of my rigs are. You can see a bunch of my equipment here for lighting and supports. And I'll basically just use a C-stand, like this lighting stand right here. Sometimes if I have to, I'll just run something right off that and use that. Like I did a Doomfish jumping off the mantle in the fireplace a year ago, and I just used that to fly it around. And when Reaper was jumping around my body and I was trying to get him in the box, I just used the C-stand to support him with some wire on it. Oh, here we go. I found him. All right. I got all kinds of stuff to show you guys here. All right. So we got another 5-pound weight here with just a bunch of wire on it. It's really simple. Just plugs into a character and supports, so I can wrap it around. Here's another one. Very simple rig here. And this one you have, I can just drill it or glue. You can even see some hot glue on there on the edge to the base. And then once that's on the base, obviously the arm can move wherever I want it to move and plug into whatever character I want to. You can see all the silly wire and stuff I got on there. Let me see what some of these questions are. A bunch of words are going by. Let's see here. Do I plan on making more Mozu? Yep. And then this one. What about the next WoW movie? Did I work on that? I'm not allowed to say anything about stuff that's not announced from World of Warcraft or any Blizzard project, because I'll get fired. So I like my job. I like what I'm doing, so I'm not going to say anything. Request to be in your live video. Let's see here. Your stuff is amazing. Thank you. Thanks for the shout out. Gotta head to bed. Where do you get the metal? You make it? Are you talking about the wire? The wire you get at any art store. You can get it off of Amazon. It's called aluminum wire, sculpting wire. It comes in like circles. You can get it at any art store. It's a sculpting wire. Okay, where you got the metal look and holding characters. Please remove comments for some time. Prince Charles hit the artist formerly known as Prince head through. You're talking about Celebrity Deathmatch. Okay. Oh, I got another one here. 70% of the screen is occupied with comments. View. All right. So Vico Sousa wants to talk. Okay, we'll see what happens. Oh, thank you for the wolf comment. And thank you for the kind comment about the inspiration. Yeah, I loved it. That was my first real claymation, and I'm doing an episode on that right now, actually upstairs. I'm editing a How I Made the Wolf. DGDX, what's up? Everybody go check out DGDX. He's the #1 guy on for stop motion on the internet, if you ask me. Go check him out. Follow him. Biggest mistakes I made on set? Oh, geez. Bumping cameras, bumping lights, you name it. I've done it. I've had cats in here. Do you use the reference footage feature in Dragonframe? Not really. I do at Leica. They ask us to use live video reference. Basically, they call them lavs there. But in my own work, I don't really use it. I like to kind of improvise my way through or choreograph something and then see something happen magically. So I don't typically use it too much at home. Like right now, I'm animating this dinosaur. I obviously don't have dinosaur animation, reference to play with. So it's going to look how it looks, but typically I don't use it. Yeah. I don't speak very much English. Oh, hey, well, sorry, Vico, but it's nice to see you here. What's up, Rob? Give me a live. I want to show my characters. Animator speaks story. Hey, man, I'd love to get you on my podcast. Yeah, absolutely. Hit me up. I do podcasts all the time. I can definitely talk to you. You love the puppets have four fingers? Yeah, a lot of my puppets have four fingers for sure. Yes, I know Tiago. Yes, very talented animator. We were friends on Kubo. What stop motion for make a movie or buy it? Story of characters. I'm not sure what that means. Sorry. Okay, go practice some more. I got a bunch of questions here. Let's see what they got. How much time do I spend animating? A lot. A lot. 8 hours a day, every day at regular job. And then at night, I'll come in here, like after my family goes to bed, and I'll animate for 2 to 4 hours, whenever I can. If I have more time that I can do it, I'll put together a nice 8 hour block. But I animate all the time, as much as I possibly can. What's da, 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 da. Okay, and then question. I'd love to do a podcast episode with you and give you a platform. Yeah, absolutely. Hit me up. Just shoot me a text on Instagram and we'll work it out. Hey, from Hey Buddy Life. What's up? Yes, I have 3 children. I have 3 kids. What? Cancel. Oh my gosh. Almost stopped my live. I have 3 children, but I'm older, so I only have one left in the house. She's 18, and my boys are 28 and 27, almost 29, actually. It's crazy. So I was going to show you a few more of my rigs, so you guys can see all the craziness that I have just for animating in my toolkits here. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 very simple versions. Okay. All right, so check this out, guys. This is a drill down rig, but it all works the same, just plugs into a character. Very simple. You can take it and plug it into anything. This is just a normal heavy foot with a plug-in. I use these all the time. That's probably my favorite. This one, again, it's a little drill-in, but these things are totally homemade. Sometimes I'll just use a really thin piece of wire that I'll literally hot glue down and put something to. Like little rigs like that work great too sometimes, especially for light objects like leaves or please stop comments for some time. Not able to see clearly. I don't know how to I don't know how to stop comments. How do you stop comments? I have no idea how to stop comments. I'll have to figure that one out. I'm sorry, but I'll hold it up a little higher so you can see. This is just a simple flat panic with some wire in a rig spot. Classic 5-pound weight with lots of wire. I've used this for 95% of my career. It's just this. I just paint it out. I'd wrap it around my characters. I'd shove it in there. I didn't get this monster here, right here, this beautiful piece of artwork, but it's very expensive, till just about a year and a half ago, maybe. It was a big investment, but it's the kind of things we use at Leica is a lot of winders. So it was time for me to get something like that at the house to just make things a little bit easier for me. But those are the basic rigs that I use anytime I'm animating. And I got 2 of these so that if I have a second character, I can bounce around with both of them and have some kind of access. And here's our dinosaur up close, looking awesome. I was in the middle of an animation and it broke. and I'm really sad about it. But I'm trying my hardest to shove some wire in there and get to the finish line of what I want to do. It's really disheartening. It was heartbreaking because I really had a big idea for this character, and it was my first test drive with the T-Rex. So I was like, yeah, I got all these huge plans. Quantum cat winders, yes. Quantum cat winders are awesome, and those are way more affordable too. The guy who made them is a really great dude. He was one of my students. So I highly suggest you check that out for anyone interested in doing some stuff. I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek at my dyno. Since it's broken and it might not ever see the light of day, you can kind of see what I got going on here. And then he died. But it's going to go with some cool live action footage that could be really magical if it works out. So please, I'm going to be spending some time in here trying to repair this thing. The spine broke on the dinosaur. The spine totally broke. So it's just a dead fish now. I can't animate it. Okay, here we go. So questions are coming in. Did I animate on Missing Link? I did not. I got the offer to work on it, and I went to accept the job, and my bosses at Blizzard made me an offer to stay there full time, and that offer was too good to deny. So I denied Link, and I stayed to work for Blizzard. Let's see here. My dream is to work at Leica, and I want to know how is it to animate the amazing puppets. It's a dream. They're the most bestest puppets made by the most talented artists ever. So animating those characters is like driving a Ferrari or some sports car. That's what it feels like. When you work in the garage like I do, and you make your own puppets like I do very often, it's constantly repairing and trying to survive, and they're crunky, and you're dealing with wires, and like it's garage stuff, so it's really homemade. And when you're dealing with Leica, where they spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars and hours building these perfect machines, and then you have a support team that will fix them for you when they break, it's amazing. They're the best puppets in the world, for sure. How do I animate mouth and eyes and stuff? Lots of different ways. You can do it with sculpting, different positions. You can do replacement shapes that you pop on. You could do stickers. But either way, you get an audio file that you want to animate to, and then you match the shapes up to that audio file that make the shapes of those sounds. And then you apply it to your animation, and you have animated mouths. Do I sculpt my characters? Yes, my characters I sculpt. What broke in particular? Dino, the back. You're a magician. Wow, great. I'm a father too. You have your own characters? Yeah, I do. I've made several short films. You can watch them on Justin Rasch Animation, my YouTube channel. And my whole family helps with our stop motion films too. It's really cool. My daughter, the one we just made, the He-Man short, the Mozu short, my daughter storyboarded the whole thing. My wife made the set. She edited it. I animated it. We all work together here. It's amazing. Why do you have lines on my head? I've answered this one a few times. I don't think I'm going to answer it today, but some other time. Maybe catch me in another live stream, and or watch one of my older live streams, because I've answered it there a couple times. Really love your work. Thank you. Thank you. Might be amazing. I've always dreamed of animating. Yeah, Leica's the best. Top of the mountain. Good plea. Did I ever work with Patrick? I did not work with Patrick Zung. But it's funny. His sister, Kathy Zung, is how I learned to make foam latex puppets. I bought her DVD, How to Make Foam Latex Puppets, and taught myself with me and Shelly, my wife, learned how to make puppets through her. So I have this connection just through her DVD. But I never met Patrick. I think he's an armaturist. Did I use Dragon Frame? Yes, I always use Dragon Frame. That's what all professionals use. You want me to backflip right now? I'm not going to backflip right now. Thanks. I just got off work. Some other live stream, I'll throw some backflips. But thanks, Vince. Do you take workshops as well, or do you have online tutorials? I teach privately. I have all the tutorials will be on my YouTube channel, which I'll be putting a lot up pretty soon. Justin Rasch Animation on YouTube. Check it out. I'm going to show how to make armatures. I'm going to show how to make sculpted puppets. I'm going to show how to mold. I'm going to show how to do sets. I'm going to show how to do basic animation stuff. I'll be putting it all up there because that seems to me like the stuff more people are interested in than anything is just me doing the very basic instructional stuff. Yes, I love what I do for sure. When you get to work on a dream project, does the dream continue? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm geeking out every day. I freaking love making movies. I love working for Blizzard, telling these stories. I'm high as a kite constantly when I'm working on this stuff, and I'm thinking about it all the time. I love it. I love it. What's the difference? A movie like Shrek or Toy Story than Lilo movies would took more time. I don't know what Lilo movies is, but Shrek and Toy Story are CG movies. So they're done on a computer, which means the computer does a lot of the work for you, a lot of the in-betweens as an animator, or it lights it. It's not practical. Stop motion movies are all physical. You have to have everything sculpted, every prop, every piece of light, every foot, it's all done by hand. So it's obviously, to me, I think way more magical personally, and I love CG too. But I love feeling and touching artwork with my hands and seeing all the stuff being created in real life. It feels really special and different. Do you sweat from doing the positions? Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's hard work. Animating can be really hard work. Right now it's winter, so it's not bad. But often when I'm animating, I'll be in a tank top or shirtless or something because it's freaking hot. And you're working. Can we turn hot toy figures to puppets or silicone inside their detailed custom? I would imagine you can do anything. It's just up to your level of skill with modifying a figure. I definitely am interested in exploring a little more of the toymation stuff, but it seems to me like when I did the He-Man stuff, they want to see what the He-Man characters can do or the toys themselves can do. So I try not to do really a lot of customization just so they can see, the reality of what that toy would be able to animate with a good animator animating it. Okay, so let me see. I got some more questions. Sorry, guys. Are you working on Wendell and Wild? Not now. Wendell and Wild is in Portland, but I did get to help out a little bit on it while it was here in LA, before Netflix gave it the full green light. So they did one sequence here in Los Angeles, and I got to go work on it and work with Henry Selick, which was amazing. I've always wanted to work with him. I didn't get to work on Coraline, and I didn't obviously work on Nightmare. So it was really special, and I would love to do more work on it. But I work for Blizzard, so it's really hard. Let's see. Are you working on Leica's new film right now? Nope. Right now, it's mainly pre-production. So puppets, sets, storyboards, character designs, molds, paint, all that kind of stuff on the new film. Maybe some early animation tests will start later, but not for a while. Nothing really happening there. Do you sweat while you do? Yes. Do you get a lot of money from doing this? And do you think stop motion is dying? No, stop motion is not dying. Stop motion is bigger than it's ever been, ever in the history of the world. There are so many shows, and there's so many companies, and there are so many movies happening. It definitely is not dying. It's bigger than ever, and it's more. When the whole world tastes like CG, like sugar, you got to have something different, right? So you got to have 2D, you got to have stop motion. You need stuff to mix it up, or it's just freaking boring. Do you get money for it? You get paid well at the highest level, yes. As an animator, you do make good money, especially in feature. Let's see here. Do you use Aardman or Leica? Oh, that's hard. That's hard. I've never worked for Aardman. I've worked for Leica and a few other places, but I think for me, I think I like Leica better, but I want Leica in the Coraline days, Paranorman days, more than the Missing Link days. That's what I would say. Can you make a video like how to make our animations more fluid, please? Yeah, I can try. It's really hard to just tell you. I've answered this many times to a few people. If you track your arcs, and you might not even know what arcs are because you haven't maybe studied animation, but your arcs are, if I move my arm from here to here, there's an arc, right? So if my arm is going like this between frames, it's not smooth. But if I track that arc, so that arc in my arm, in my head, going like this, smoothly, all of your animation will improve instantaneously. Track your arcs better. Otherwise, study animation. Get the Animator Survival Kit and start studying. Is there a direction I can go towards working as a stop motion animator after I graduate? I don't know what that means. You can apply for jobs. Like, that's kind of the dream for any animator. Make a demo reel and apply to all the studios in California. I would give you the advice to come out to California because no one's going to fly you out here to get those jobs. Otherwise, you just make a demo reel, put together something quality, and people will talk to you when you're at a professional level. And if you're not at a professional level, then you got to do a lot of work. Practice, practice, practice. Call me. I teach privately. I can help you get there. Have I ever worked on any CG stuff, like done anything digitally? I do every day, man. 6,000 feet under. I animate CG every day. I animate on Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Diablo, Hearthstone, tons of CG stuff. That's what I do for a living every day, is I do CG animation. Stop motion is my hobby, and I do it professionally as well, but 99% of my jobs in the last 24 years have been CG, so that's what I do all the time. Okay. What's my favorite Leica movie? Coraline. Easy. It's Coraline. That's their best film, in my opinion, still to this day. So good. It's so good. Kubo's awesome. Paranorman's awesome. Box Show's awesome. Coraline's the best, for sure. In my opinion. What's your favorite stop motion film? I think you already asked me this. I think it's Nightmare Before Christmas. 99% sure it's Nightmare Before Christmas. Do I have a Coraline puppet in my house? I wish. I do not have a Coraline puppet. I have a Coraline collectible, but those puppets, you're talking about like, hundreds of thousands of dollars to make one of those puppets, right? If you add up the salaries of all of the animators, all of the armaturists, the sculptors, the painter, the casters and molders, the facial department, the tech people who designed the face, and then the hair department which made that wig. That's a couple $100,000 probably of salaries to make a Coraline puppet. I wish I had one. And I do know some people that have them, and it was part of their contract, but I do not. Maybe someday when I get rich and famous, I can buy my own Coraline puppet. But right now, I don't have one. Do you have any advice for high schoolers? I've been wanting to get into the animation industry, yet I don't know what school to go to and stuff. It all depends on what kind of animation you want to do. But honestly, if you want to learn CG animation, go to an online school. It's way cheaper and you'll learn what you need to know to be a professional. If you want to do stop motion, learn it online. Don't go to college. It's all free. All the knowledge is free to learn to be a stop motion person online. Take some animation classes, maybe that would help. Do some private mentoring, maybe, but don't spend $200,000 to go to a school for a stop motion degree. It's not good. And if you're going for 2D animation, again, that's so expensive. But there's so many. You can go to Cal Arts. There's not a lot of 2D animation jobs these days. You can go to Savannah School of Art and Design. There's a million schools I could throw out there. Sheridan in Canada. But really, you probably could just do some online mentoring. There's Don Bluth has a 2D school right now that he's doing. I'm sure you could probably just hook up with a really good 2D animator online and maybe get a direct mentorship. That'd be so much cheaper and so much more direct than going to school and getting poor with millions of dollars of debt. Do you sweat while doing the postures? Yes. What's the hardest animation I've ever done? I get asked this one all the time. I don't know. I don't know what the hardest animation I've ever done is. They're all hard. Yeah, I can't think. I really can't break it down to one animation. I mean, working on the boat on Kubo, animating characters with cape and long hair and blowing leaves and a moving boat and moving cameras in a fight scene was pretty hard. It was pretty hard. But I don't know if it was the hardest either, because there might have been something really simple that was way harder. But I've had a lot of challenging stuff in animation. But I love it. I love it. What do you think about the guilds? The Guildies? Guldies? What is Guldies? I don't know what Guldies is. Somebody has to fill me in on that one because I don't know what they are. Or I'll look it up after the live stream. Guldies. How is your day and what is your favorite work you have done? My day's great, man. I feel super blessed. I have my home. I have my studio. It didn't burn down. I have a job that allows me to work from home. I feel very, very grateful. And my favorite work I've done is I don't know. I think maybe some of the personal films that me and Shelley have made. We just made this He-Man Motu film, which was really rewarding and fun. Making our own films is really rewarding. Making Trace and Bake, making Cookie Watch, the 2 shorts I did for Blizzard were really, really rewarding. And they came out great, so I was really happy about that. Maybe those. Is there something that is so hard to animate? I think you're saying, is it too hard for me to animate? Crowds, maybe. Large crowds. Like, one of the reasons Leica decided to start putting more CG characters in a lot of their films was because they were doing bigger stories that required lots and lots of characters. And I, on Paranorman, was doing crowds that were real and practical. And I remember I had, I don't know, maybe 10, 11 characters, maybe 12 characters at once. And I was getting, 3 frames an hour. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't even know if it was 3 frames an hour. It might have even been less than that, but it was so slow that that was probably something that I'm not interested in animating. I'm not interested in crowd animations, or it's too hard and too slow, not rewarding enough. So I get why they decided to do more CG for character crowds. What stop motion took the longest to make? I don't know. I don't know. Like making a film takes 2 years. You know what I mean? That's with 30 animators. On a Leica film, takes 2 full years. Uh, for, you know, the longest stuff, like for one shot, maybe that's a question I can answer. What shot did I do that took the longest? And I've probably been on one shot that took almost a month. A lot of time. It was 3 good weeks of animation at least. And that's 8-hour days. So that's probably the longest thing I've done for one shot. All right. But you don't need any degrees and stuff? No. Telling you again, it's all about your demo reel. It's all about your art. Degrees mean nothing. Unless you're going to a different country, degrees mean nothing. You don't need it. It's all about your work. We're artists. We're not engineers that need degrees in how certain things made. We make art. If you're a good artist, you'll get a job. Opinions on Disney. I like Disney. I have many friends that work there, and they've definitely been pivoting in the right direction over the last decade, and they do amazing work. They do amazing work. They might not be breaking a lot of, boundaries or like, I don't know, like Leica is really special because they tell the stories they want to tell, and it doesn't matter what the rest of the world thinks. It really doesn't. Like, if Travis wants to make a movie, he's going to freaking make a movie, and he's going to tell the story he wants to tell. Disney and so many of the other studios are really kind of slaves to what they think is going to make money, or to 80 million different opinions. And that it's unfortunate, but they're really good at what they do. And so at the same time, like, I can't fault that they're bad at what they do. So I wish they would take a few more risks, but I like Disney. I do like Disney, and I think it's a pretty amazing place. Every time I go there for lunch or hang out with a buddy, I'm mesmerized by the Mouse House. It's definitely got a history of amazing people working there and creating amazing artwork. And I definitely have, I get the itch when I walk through there to work there. It's special. How do you keep track of an arc or sequence if you suddenly have to stop the shoot for the day? So that's technology. I have to stop all the time. Every time I animate. Like last night when I stopped animating, I had to stop. I have to start again tonight when I fix this puppet, right? It's like you have to, you have a program called Dragon Frame, and Dragon Frame will take my camera and it will keep a low-res version of all the frames that I've taken in order. So I can hit a button and it goes play, and it plays them back. And what happens is when I go the next night to animate, I can see what my last couple frames were, right? And I can play, so I can see the flow. Every time I hit play, how it's like flipping your papers in 2D. You can see the flow of your animation, and it allows me to keep going after I've stopped for a little while. It's an amazing tool, Dragon Frame, that allows stop motion to do work that's so much better than in the old days. So that's how you do it. Give me your opinion on this idea. The figurines are 3D, but all the backgrounds, details, and something. I think what you're trying to say is realistic puppets, CG backgrounds. I think it looks a little phony, personally. I think it works fine, especially for like, online content, stuff like that. But if you're talking about like real projects, it looks phony to me. I want to see, I want to get the illusion of real depth and real immersion of my characters in a real miniature scene, even if it's, imagining that it's a giant skyscraper that they're, climbing or something like that. So when it's mixed like that, it looks so phony to me that I'm not that into it. But for online stuff, I think it has value for sure. Okay, Animator Survival Kit. Does it help, Justin? Yes, it's huge. Study it. I recommend it to every young animator. Before the pandemic, did you work from home or did you work at a studio? I worked at Blizzard Studio. I went to work every single day and worked with a team of animators making cartoons, making video games every day. Luckily, my job is on a computer animation, so I can just work from home now, and it's been really amazing. We're still creating cartoons. We're putting them out all the time. We just released Shadowlands, which was a huge success, and we got a bunch of new, really cool stuff coming out. So we're busy working. Not a question, but your stuff is so good, man. Coming from an inspiring Lego stop motion animator. Thank you so much, Max Lego. I gotta try Legos one of these days. I still haven't. I started with He-Man because that was my favorite toy, but I gotta get my hands on some Legos. Give them a shot. It's too big of a community, the Lego animation community. Do you have a favorite animation style? Ooh, favorite style. I love cartooning. And then I love, like, see that dinosaur back there? I love, like, old-fashioned creature animation, like from Harryhausen movies and Phil Tippett, RoboCop and, Star Wars characters. I love dynamic comic book style animation. So favorite, I really love them all too much. I love the variety that I get to have at work, especially at my Blizzard job, because I do really cartoony stuff, then I do really dynamic comic book style. And then, and then we do World of Warcraft, sometimes the really pre-rendered shows that are really realistic, photoreal, film quality. And I love them all. I love them. I love to taste different meals and test myself as an animator. Do you ever strain your eyes from a bunch of light, like on your computers? I haven't had that problem. I've been working on a computer for close to 25 years, 24 years, and I've never had eye issues. I remember when we would crunch a lot, have a lot of crunch time, I would get tired sometimes. Like I drive home and my eyes felt a little tired, blue or blurry, but my eyes are good. I never had any issues with light stuff. All right, let's see here. Do you have Blizzard stuff? I love so much your work. Yeah, I have Blizzard stuff. What do you mean? Do I have Blizzard stuff? I have tons of Blizzard stuff. I work there, so I have clothing, posters, sculptures, puppets, like I don't know, anything you can imagine that would come from working at Blizzard. Like tons of my work too that I my demo reel of work of all the shorts I've worked on from Overwatch or World of Warcraft and the latest Diablo short, any of that. What do your tattoos mean? I'll have to tell you another time. I answer this almost every live stream. Okay, Goldies have 600,000 followers on Instagram. He became campus thanks to claymation video. Oh, he became famous. Oh, Goldies, I'll have to check it out. I've never seen it. 600,000 is huge. And it's claymation. That's amazing. I'm so happy to hear an audience for what we do in stop motion is that big. That's awesome. Man, I'll have to go follow him right after this. Goldies. All right. What Will you ever want to make your own film one day? Yes! Every day I want to make my own film. That's a dream. You just said my dream. Like, So I'm making Motu shorts and short films in my garage, like that I told you about. I've made 5 films. Me and my wife have made 5 short films together. I want to make a feature film so bad someday. That's my ultimate goal, to direct a feature film that me and my wife write. Huge dream. And I'm chasing it every day. I'm chasing it. Wow, so many questions. When did I get my tattoos? Oh, I'm 46, so I got my first tattoo when I was almost 18, and then all through the years. I've had my stripes for my daughter's whole life, so about 18 years. So many, many different stages of my life, I got the tattoos. Do you learn something new every time you animate for yourself? Absolutely, every day. Every day you're learning as an animator. Every day. You get new challenges and new experiences constantly. Because every shot you get assigned is different, right? Believe it or not, this is my first dinosaur. I've never animated a dinosaur before. I've animated creatures with similar, maybe leg structures, but I've never animated a T-Rex. Super pumped. I'm figuring that out as I go. My first test is not going to be great. I just kind of gave you guys a sneak peek, but you just figure it out. You learn. I know enough about animation to I'll figure it out. When did I get my tattoos? That's time. Would you make an online course for beginners? I can't make an online course because I teach privately, guys. This is one of the ways I pay my bills. So if I give away all my knowledge for free, which I am already doing a lot of, I don't have a way to make extra money, right? So I'm not going to do an online beginner course for beginners, but I am going to be doing stuff on my channel, Justin Rasch Animation on YouTube, which will give you a lot of knowledge, and it will give you a lot of simple tutorials on how to do certain things. So you'll be able to see stuff on my channel for sure. So make sure to follow me. If you do make a feature film, I'd love to help out, unless you want it to be, oh, no. When I make a feature film, William, when I make a feature film, I want someone to pay for it. I want it to be real. I don't want it to be in my garage. I want to make a feature film for like a studio like Netflix or Amazon or something, some big studio, to do a real job where I hire a whole crew and we tell my story. So yeah, I would love to have you come work on it. That'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Okay, what do you think, or what animation do you think would be a challenge for you? This one right here, dinosaur. It's a big challenge. All kinds of animation would be a challenge for me, but you have to remember, I've been doing this for 24 years. So I have a lot of experience, and I know how to do things or figure them out. But really, really subtle things can sometimes be incredibly challenging too. One thing like hair, like if you watch Kubo and you look at the mother's hair, oh my God, that would be crazy challenging to me. And it would test my patience a lot to be sitting there messing with tweezers at that level of the animation quality that happened there. Whew, that would probably be one of the biggest challenges for me. And I'm so happy I didn't have to animate that hair, because that was intense. Very intense. What's your favorite part of your job from Blizzard? Oh my gosh, Blizzard's amazing. I love animating, and I love acting. At Blizzard, I get to do acting and stunts and pretend. I've talked about it a bunch of times. I get to pretend at work every day. And that feels so exciting and fun to my little kid's soul and heart, right? Like, my dad has to go to a job and do real work. Most of the people, my neighbor has to go to a job and do real work. I get to go to work and freaking pretend. And I'm not saying animation's easy. It's hard. But it's so much more fun than maybe digging a ditch or doing something really challenging and hard, or sewing a human being up from surgery or something like that. You know what I mean? Like making rocket propulsion technology. Who knows? I get to go and pretend. I get to really be in touch with my little kid self, and it's really special. So just pretending is my favorite part of working for Blizzard and animating. Let's see here. Do I have the He-Man puppet yet? I just have the toys. I don't have the puppets. I thought when I first had the idea of making the He-Man film, I thought maybe I would do like what Robot Chicken did, which was they just cast one of the old toys and made it out of silicone. So I thought I might do that. That way it looked like it would be flexible. But then when I got the toys, I was like, wow, these are really mobile. I'm just going to animate them like they are with all their normal joints. So I don't have a He-Man puppet. I have a He-Man toy. But it is a puppet, so it works great. All right. Do I have a martial arts background? It's so interesting to I guess I do. I never thought of myself as having a martial arts background because I started later in life. But you know, like I've done jujitsu, I've done Muay Thai, I've done MMA, I've done I box. Like I do a lot of some wrestling, no-gi, submission wrestling, like a lot of I do have some martial arts background. I think of myself as more of a gymnast or a parkour person or a stunt person, but I definitely and boxing is the one that's my favorite. I love boxing, and I'm older, so it's a little different, like than being a young person. But I compete, and I definitely enjoy the skills and the art form of boxing very much. But yeah, I have enough of a martial arts background that I know how to kick, I know how to submit people and wrestle and stuff like that. Let's see here. Stunning is a part of your work. You jump, make acrobatic things. It's only a part of my job because I do it. It's part of my character, me, right? Like I'm a mover person. So when we're doing action-packed animation, I have this skill that makes it a lot easier for me and my team to have the reference for what the body actually does during these actions. So all of my acrobatic background just comes into play. It's not necessary. You can go to YouTube and download how certain actions are done. If someone does a tornado kick or whatever, but because I can do it and I can act a little bit because I'm an animator, I'm able to do it specifically for the art form that we're doing, which is why you see so many of the Overwatch or WoW shorts that I've done acting for, because I do have that background. But it's not necessary. You do not have to be a stunt person to be an animator at all, just so you know. How many drafts, revisions do you do with your short film scripts before animating? Well, once we get a script, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 for a film, versions of it, drafts. But then the animatic happens, and the animatic is all the drawings of the storyboards together. So you basically get to see the whole film with audio. So we record scratch audio, we put it all together so you can literally watch the short in 2D form before we start animating. And that can go back and forth for a little bit, because you might be like, oh, let's try a different shot, or I don't like that delivery, or make this last a little bit longer, or change a line, right? So then that draft phase kind of can leak into the animatic phase. But once you have a solid animatic, then you're ready to animate. You just go. Oh, thank you, Ellie Brick. She said, not a question. You're doing great. Thank you. I really appreciate the support so much. To all of you out there, I'm blown away that you're interested in what I do. Have you ever done stunts that made you think twice about trying them out? Yes. Yes, I've done some big stuff. Like I did stunts on on Uncharted 2, a video game called Uncharted 2, and it's a cannon stunt where they put a ring on your back. You wear a vest, and there's a ring on your back that they can yank it with like an air gun, right? And what happens is you go flying like you were shot with a shotgun. It's an amazing effect. If you watch films nowadays where you see people get shot and they go flying, that's how they do it. And I had to do this, vest stunt where I got yanked about 15 feet in the air. It's like I'm flying, bam, and then you hit and fall and roll, and I had to do this stunt 3 times. And the first time I did it, the ring it's a big metal ring on your back, came down right on my spine, like I cracked it, and I was like, oh my god, that hurts so bad. It killed. But of course it played it off because I'm whatever tough guy. And it got up and they were like, can you do it again and try it this way? And I'm like, yeah, I can do it again. And the next time I did it, and I landed a little bit off to the side. It kind of adjusted myself so the ring wouldn't land so flat. But I did it 3 times, and it looked amazing. And I'm so sad I never got the footage of it because it was an incredible stunt. But I was like, I don't know about this. This is pretty intense. Like when it landed on my spine like that, I was like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. It was pretty painful. How long does it take to build a set? As long as we got. That's how long it takes. We built, Shelly, my wife, built the Eternia set from the He-Man short in basically a week. Out of foam, paint, glue. We painted a backdrop for it. Like, it looked great with all the lighting and everything. It can be a day. It can be a week. It can be months. It pretty much will be as long as we have to make it, and whatever we need it to look like in quality. Like, does it just have to tell a little bit of a story? Does it have to be really detailed because the camera's going to be up close? All of that comes into play when designing our sets. But it can be fast. All right, let's see here. Have I ever done voice acting? Yes, I've done a lot of voice acting. Obviously, from our short films, I've done voice acting. I've done temp voices at Blizzard. I've done temp voices at all the studios I've worked for, pretty much while we're developing stories or cinemas. Yeah, I love it. It's fun. It's more play, and it's really, really fun. So, fun part of being an animator. Let's see here. Thank you very much. Oh, no problem. When did I get my tattoos? Many, many years ago. Get that one a few times. Have you ever thought about animating stuff for League of Legends at Riot? Or is it just at Blizzard? I've thought about it, yeah. I won't do it, though, because it feels like a little bit of a betrayal to Blizzard. Because Riot is pretty much a direct competitor to Blizzard. I think it was even Blizzard people that started it. So if I were to go give Riot some animation, I would feel like I really betrayed Blizzard. So I won't do that. Just out of respect. And plus, Blizzard is the one studio that has done all 3 mediums, one video game studio that has done stop motion, 2D, and CG. And that's really special. And I like them being the champions of that since I work there personally right now. I got the survivals kit. Does it help? Yes, it helps a lot. I can't wait to see your growth. Study that thing. Wow, so many people have a character, 12 stories. How can I buy it? Well, here they are, questions. Sorry, guys. I'm new to technology. Okay, when you mean you work on Diablo, do you work on the actual in-game animations or models? I work on so if you watched the latest cinematic that came out of BlizzCon last year, I animated on that. So I took the introduction to Lilith and the rogue and the team running through there, the barbarian, trying to get into the chamber to find the magic, like that whole story. I was part of animating that. I work with the team, so I've done in-game animation, which is like when you're actually playing the game and things are happening that are story-like. I've done some animation for those as well. So I don't model, I just do animation for the game. And then cinematics for, trailers and stuff like that. Do you have feature film ideas in the chamber? Yes, I do. I have several. Me and my wife have a few we've been sitting on for years that we are at a certain point going to pitch. We'll take that step, and when I have enough legitimacy as an animator and a storyteller, we'll have those to pitch, hopefully to the right people and get them made. That's a dream. That's a big one. I've had that dream my whole life too, so it's really special. How many people have you worked with on animations from Blizzard? So Blizzard's huge, just so you guys know. It's like 3,000 people on the campus or something like that. It's giant. I work for a part of, like, each game team has like buildings, right? Like the Overwatch team has a building. Hearthstone has a building. Diablo has a building. World of Warcraft has a building. I work in a building called SFD. And SFD is Story and Franchise Development. And what we do is we take all of those games and we do the storytelling bits. So in-game cinematics, trailers, anything where there's story actually happening as part of those titles, that's what my department does. And my department at SFD is about 300 people. So on our animation team, it might be 30 people, or it might be 55 people, depending on what time of the year and how many projects we're working on. So it can get anywhere in that range throughout any year as we're working. Let's see here. Can I speak Spanish? ¿Habla español? No, un poquito, tiny bit. What tiny bit I remember from when I was young, very little. Every once in a while, like, I'll have a Spanish friend that I can practice with a little bit, very minimally, but I always forget. I definitely want to learn Spanish. That's the language I want to learn. But un poquito, not much. What book would you recommend for animation or anatomy? I do also draw. I don't draw as much as I used to, but that's how I started, was a 2D artist. For animation, definitely Animator Survival Kit. If you want to start animating, it's really just a really fast educational tool with a lot of examples. It's really helpful. On anatomy, oh my gosh, man, I don't have a book I can tell you right now, but I'm sure if I went out to my shelf, I'd have 3 or 4 different anatomy books on there. I think you can find great anatomy books anywhere, and even online resources nowadays, you don't even need books anymore. You can just look up anatomy, and there's so much beautiful reference for you to study and learn from. So I don't have a book recommendation there. Sorry. Okay. Your thoughts on Robot Chicken? I love it. I think it's hysterical. I love, when Robot Chicken first started, they were very much obviously preying on me as an 80s kid, right? Like I had so much of the cartoons I grew up on and the shows I grew up on that were part of those early sketches that it, of course, just really, sorry, I have to plug in my phone, really was really appealing to me and really humorous. So I really, really enjoyed it. I also loved when I first started basically experimenting in stop motion, when I went to Robot Chicken, seeing how vast the sets were. Because, you know, on this set they'd have G.I. Joe, on that set they'd have Transformers, on that set they'd have Thundercats, or you know, you name it, from 80s cartoon wrestlers or something, you know, something from pop culture. And it was really exciting for me to just see the variety of the skits. And every day when you would work on one of those, you know, there was a lot to laugh about. And the animation style was so pushed and cartoony and snappy that I just find it really entertaining. It's funny. Okay. Have you ever gotten scoliosis or back problems from animating? No, I don't think you get scoliosis from animating, but you get sore backs. But I think it's pure muscle. It's like it's just tired. Your back hurts and aches because you're holding positions that are, you know, stiff. You know what I mean? Like you're basically doing kind of yoga positions where you're just holding one pose for long periods of time. So nothing like injuring yourself, but definitely just aches where you're like, ugh, getting up like an old man. I'm making a stop motion short film at home for school. Do you have any tips on lighting in a small space? Tips for lighting in a small space. I guess clip-on lights are really handy in that way. You can get some really inexpensive clip-on lights, and you can attach them to wherever you need to in your small space, and you get a lot of mileage out of those. So I think that's when I first started on my desktop, I used a lot of clip-on like IKEA lights, and they work great. So clips. You don't have to invest in anything crazy expensive when you're first starting out, lighting wise. Is being an artist pricey? No, I don't think so. I think it's pretty cheap. Being an artist, I mean, like, all you need is some paper and pencil. That's pretty inexpensive. Clay doesn't cost that much. You know what I mean? You can get some wire and clay and sculpt all kinds of cool things. I think being an artist is very cheap. If you're talking about like CG artists where you have to get a computer and programs and stuff like that, then, you know, maybe that's a different story. But I think most people that are consider an artist more of a physical hands 2D thing. I'm not sure what time it is, guys. Oh, I got a few more questions here. Do you prefer stop motion to CG? Yes, I do. Very clearly. That is magic. CG, it's cool. It's really cool. I like the performance and I like the polish, but it's not, that's magic. That's magic. That's real life magic. Okay. Where have you worked other than Blizzard and at Leica? Well, I guess I worked for Netflix for a week on Wendell and Wild. I worked at Robot Chicken, Buddy System Studios. I worked at Screen Novelties on SpongeBob's. I worked at Tumbleleaf, which was Bix Pix. I worked at Sony. I worked at High Impact Games, Activision, Luxoflux, Konami, Japanese video game company called Konami. I've been around for a long time. I've worked for a lot of studios. Cartoon Network, I've done stuff for them. Yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember half the places I've worked, but a lot of video game companies, a lot of CG companies. Superbot, video games. There's been a bunch. All right, let's see here. How many frames per second do I animate? 24 frames per second, always. I always work at 24. It's film. It's my favorite. I like to work on ones as much as possible, but I do use twos. Probably my favorite is a mix. That way I don't have to get too crazy on the little tiny movements, but I get all the information I want to make some really clean, beautiful animation. 24 frames per second. Do I prioritize sleep or just work every second of the day? I used to work every second of the day, but animation was like almost like fuel to me when I was younger. I can't do it anymore like I used to. I do get sleep, but I don't prioritize it. I prioritize, I stay healthy, but I can't stay up all night every night like I used to. But I try to get enough sleep to repair my body. But I have to say, like, animating is fuel. It really feels like fuel to me. And when I work all day on someone else's stuff, it's a certain kind of fuel. But then when I come in here and I touch magic, it's so rewarding, and it's a high. I call it a high all the time. It makes me so high that it just makes sleep not as necessary sometimes. Did you work on a stop motion that didn't include any puppets, like for ads? I don't remember if I did, like object-based animation. I don't think I've done that yet. Professionally, I've done stuff like, playing around with my family, like when we were evacuated for the fire. I was playing with my daughter's teddy bear, animating it in the hotel. And I went outside and I animated, my body flying around like the parking lot and doing some weird things. That was, more, not like, I guess my body was like a puppet, but I haven't done it professionally. Nothing that was just like object-based, like an ad for something. That's new to me. I'll have to give that a shot. Abdul. Let's see here. Is the T-Rex silicone? Yes, it is. It's a silicone puppet. It's beautiful. It's broken, but it's beautiful. Okay. Do you make a cosplay of Coraline? Sorry, man. I have questions. I never made a cosplay of Coraline. I love the character. She's my favorite, but I haven't cosplayed yet. I've done Professor X. I've done a few other bald characters, but no Coraline yet. All right. I think we're coming to the end here. I love how you just call stop motion magic. It is. That's the closest thing I've ever seen to real magic in my entire life. Is stop motion, bringing those things to life, and believably to life. Woo! I just put up a post today, Ray Harryhausen post on my channels, talking about Calibus, which was one of the characters from Clash of the Titans. And I still watch that. When I animate here, like, just so you guys know, I have a little TV down there. I have on, like, Clash of the Titans. I have Jason and the Argonauts. I have RoboCop. I have Star Wars. I have all the movies that inspired me like crazy as I animate. Because it's magic. It feels like, how did they do that? Especially when I was young. I had no idea how it was done. And you knew it was real. I watch these CG films and I know it's not real. As cool as it looks, I'm like, my brain goes, that's not real. And like, and then I'm not afraid, or I'm not, I don't know, just feels like a cartoon, which disconnects me. So even though stop motion was rough and crusty in the old days, it was real. And there was something really special about that knowledge to me. All right, last question. Is there a way to make special effects for stop motion without always using CGI or computer effects? Of course, you can do anything with puppets. Are you talking about like an explosion or fire or effects, like that kind of stuff? Absolutely. There's so many millions of clever ways you can do that stuff in stop motion. It's up to your imagination. The limits are only your imagination in stop motion. I see people doing stuff that just makes me giggle because again, it's like magic, right? Like the trick they are able to pull off, the illusion they're able to pull off in clever, cool ways is just as exciting as seeing it move to me. So I really absolutely think only your imagination can limit you. Doing, the Overwatch shorts that I was doing in stop motion, part of the fun of that was coming up with how am I going to make these characters do their effects, like the smoke effect or her blink effect when she zips across when Tracer zips across the screen, you know what I mean? Like that stuff I didn't know how to do. We had to figure it out, and that was half the fun. It was definitely half the fun. Yes. Okay, I think that's it, everybody. I am going to be doing this on Fridays. I'm going to try to be really regular, so like a channel, and I'll try to have a subject. Like this week, it was rigs, as you can see over there. I just wanted to share a little bit because people are always asking about the rigs. I will talk about another subject next Friday, maybe share some things so we have a little bit of a, like a subject that we go about. I'll answer questions just the same, but we'll have a basic subject to talk about as well. And I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye, everybody.